Live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Bunker Office Hours, a weekly live show brought to you by the team at Bunker Labs, a national network of veteran and military spouse entrepreneurs growing the military entrepreneurial community. I'm your host, Iron Mike Stedman, today, joined by my co-host, Amy Morrison, and our special guest, the military money expert, Miss Lacey Langford. What is going on, y'all?
Hey, thanks for having me.
All our viewers are tuning in. Like, I'm so glad I don't have to be on video this morning. Y'all don't understand the stress and everything that goes into it. For all of you out there that don't like getting on camera, I understand. We got a great show for you today. It's going to be fun. But before we jump in to talking with Lacey, Amy's going to talk about what's going on in the bunker this week.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, it's kind of a slow week here at the bunker. We've got USAA 100-year anniversary pitch competition. Applications are open for Austin. That deadline was extended to the 16th, February 16th, so you've got an extra day or two. And then you can check that out at bunkerlabs.org/USAA-pitch. And then also on that landing page are interest forms for the additional pitch competitions that will be opening up soon. So that's
What have you heard about the pitch comps, Amy? Are they going good? Are people? What's the feedback we're getting from the community?
We haven't gotten any. We haven't started the actual events yet, so we haven't had an actual pitch yet. But the LA applications were the first ones to go through their first cycle. So that was very. We got a lot of good applications for that one. We still need some for Austin. So I think because that application window wasn't open quite as long, so I think that's why we've extended it a little bit. But yeah, so far the apps are looking good. I think we've got possibly finalists for LA, but those have not been announced yet because that event got pushed back due to COVID stuff. But yeah, the buzz is good so far. But I'm looking forward to the first event so we can actually get see what the pitches actually look like. And we'll be putting out, once we have the finalists for the first couple events, we'll be putting those on our social media and stuff like that.
And for those of you that are nervous about pitching, you feel overwhelmed, listen, we put out a couple of articles, two primarily, one on what goes into a good pitch, right? And the other one was public speaking. And marketing team's been working hard behind the scenes to make sure you guys are prepared, you have the resources. So be sure to check out the Bunker Labs blog. Again, we've got two great resources there. And start talking to people in the community. Reach out to people, ping them on social. Don't feel so overwhelmed by these pitch competitions. I understand how nervous they can be. But again, this is a great way to get some seed capital for your business, non-dilutive. And with the military money expert in here, she can tell you all about finance and how important that is. So, but yeah, make sure you check those out. If you have questions, you need somebody to send you a link, just go ahead and comment on the live show right here. And I also want to give a shout out to Frank Montague. I hope I got that name right, for all the work he's doing with Crayons Ready to Eat. Kudos to you, Frank, for getting that launch, man. We're excited. We're rooting for you, and keep crushing it out there and showing all these other entrepreneurs what's possible. All right, Lacey, I have a privilege of being part of a podcast CEO circle group with Lacey Langford. And I will tell you, she is amazing. She's made some time for me to help me with my podcast stuff. So she's already been giving back to the community. But a lot of you all out there know her as the military money expert. She's got an exciting conference she's going to be talking to you all about coming up here soon. So, Lacey, without further ado, welcome to Office Hours.
Speaking of public speaking, it is a little nerve-wracking having to get all dressed for live, plus be live. That is public speaking. So you are not alone if you're nervous about doing the pitch competition. I completely feel you.
Yeah, man, it's real. So this conference, tell us about the conference, and also why you felt like it was an opportunity to do it now. What made you want to step out and host this conference?
Yes, it's definitely something new for my business, entrepreneurship, and just definitely out of my comfort zone. But the conference is for financial professionals that are united by military service. So that could be a financial counselor, a coach, a financial planner, somebody that is a financial writer, an educator, a banker, but people that want careers or have careers in finance that have served, or military spouses or children of the military. We even have some people that are coming that are just big supporters of the military community. But as a veteran coming out of the military and wanting to start a career in finance, I struggled with that, knowing what is the playing field? What positions can I play? Can I be a counselor? Can I be a planner? Or is it just banking? I didn't have mentorship. I didn't know where to go find mentorship for that. And then also as a military spouse, I was getting my footing, figuring it out to become a financial professional, but military life made that very difficult to build my career around my husband's military career. And so that's why I went into entrepreneurship. It was out of frustration because I wanted a career, I wanted earning power as a financial professional, but I couldn't do it traditionally because of my husband's career. And so I figured out a way to do that, started my own financial coaching business. And now the position I'm in, having the show, the Military Money Show, and being involved in the community, whether that's in the veteran space, the military spouse space, the financial space, I see other people struggle with the exact same things that I have. And so I started paying attention. We aren't coming together. A lot of problems could also be solved by communicating. And so I am doing this conference, MilMoneyCon, in April to bring together all those people to help them connect, learn solutions, just network and find other people, find mentorship and support, but also to increase earning power. People work really hard to get experience and education to be a financial professional that are in the military space, and they should be able to earn a good living at that. So that's another major component of this conference, is to help people connect with ways to make money.
And that includes entrepreneurship too. And I will tell you, one of the reasons I was able to go in on Ironbound full time was because of my financial advisor, Todd Alexander, Naval Academy guy, who helped me put some money away early on. So when it came time to liquidate that savings account, thankfully, I had some money in the bank account. And so, the reality of it is not every entrepreneur is going to be venture backed. So we have to have access to capital, and a lot of time that's going to come from our own savings and friends and family.
Yes, definitely. I bootstrapped everything, but finding out resources like in the community, like this pitch competition, to know that you get money that's not diluted, that you could get mentorship, like coming to this conference, finding financial advisors that have been out of the military for 20, 30 years and now have a lot of experience that they could pass on to a service member that's getting ready to make a major transition in their life, not only for themselves, but also for their spouse and their family. And if they want to start a career in finance, whether that be a writer, you can make six figures as a financial expert writing. Or if you want to be a planner or a coach, having somebody to connect with to help you to say, hey, this is how you can start up. There's a program that will help you work on compliance. There's a program that can help you, learn your coaching process, those type of things. It just reduces the cost and expedites, the learning and understanding the playing field and the position you want to play in it.
Why do you think finance is a good opportunity for military members, the military connected community?
Well, I think self-discipline is one of them. That's something that I think is rooted in the community, is that, you are given a task. Even military spouses, like, you need to be in charge of this PCS that's, you've only been here 6 months, you're ready to move again. But also service members, it's like, this is your task. You need to accomplish it, and you need to have the self-discipline to do that. I think that that's great for financial experts or financial professionals, is a discipline to say, hey, this is how you need to save money and spend less than you make. This is how you invest for the future. You're able to exemplify those things and share that with other people that you're helping to improve their financial life. I think they're also self-starters as a financial, especially if you're working in the planning field, you know, you do have to put yourself out there. You have to go after it. If you want to get coaching clients or planning clients, you're in sales, you're in marketing, you have to go out there and find them. If not, you're just going to be, only looking at your family members. And so I think also too, at a very young age, service members are taught to be better with their money. Now, I'm not saying we all listen to it. present company included. But when you're 19 and you got a steady paycheck and you're just figuring out life, but your security clearance is dependent on your finances. It's part of the adjudication process. And so service members understand that they do need to save their money, spend less than they make, and invest for their future. Getting in that habit of doing it is a different story. But I do think that service members understand that. And as they get older and more established, they start to build those habits and do those tasks. And so I think that that's what makes them good financial professionals.
I think one of the great things that you've done is you've carved out this niche of your own, around military money. And the conference sounds really cool because I just got back from a military veteran startup conference hosted by Context Ventures out in San Fran. And it was great to be in person. It was great to get out there in the community and see people and learn from people. And, one of the things I do think a lot of transitioning veterans struggle from is that sense of community, and a
Yes.
conference is a great way to almost like have a reunion, come get connected with people and just, I don't know, just feel the love. Like you can feel the energy. Like it's a good vibe. And so for you to be able to do that around money, I think that's going to be a great conference.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope so. That's my intention, is to really build community, because that's how I started to understand the playing field. I started attending conferences. They weren't military specific, going to things like FinCon, which is a huge money and media conference, where I was able to connect with other veterans and service members, but in a much smaller grouping. And also going to marketing conferences or going to podcast conferences. All of those has helped me in my business and my career. And I want something very specific for our community to help people coming out that are still, I've really been working hard to let service members know, hey, if you're getting ready to transition and you're interested in a career in finance, this is a conference for you to come to, because we're all here ready to create a foothold for you to get over the wall, like to a lot quicker, because it took us all a lot longer to get where we're at. So for us to be able to mentor other people, but also military spouses. We know what it's like to try to build a career around military life. Very frustrating, and usually not a direct path. It's usually a side road. And so I think being able to have that community in one spot to help people out, but also I'm trying to do things like we're doing a 5K. What better way to bond than us running, and then having specific sessions and events at the conference in order for people to connect, where there's opportunities for them to have conversations, to get to know each other and find out ways that, you can learn or help another person, I think is very powerful.
Can you give our viewers a taste of what kind of sessions are going to be available at the conference?
Yes. So there are like 6 different tracks people are going to be speaking on. Entrepreneurship is one of them, because it's something I feel very passionate about. Is that often in the military community, you are going into entrepreneurship because that's the best way to work around military life, is that you create your own business that's PCS proof. And then also too, for service members, sometimes difficult to go work for other people when you've had such responsibility. So there'll be some on that. Also marketing and production. I feel passionately about that. No matter, even if you go work for somebody else, you still have to market yourself. So teaching people, hey, this is how social media works. This is how podcasting can help you grow your business. We're going to be talking about military specific concepts like the thrift savings plan, the blended retirement system, teaching maybe some financial professionals that have been out of the military game for a little bit. Hey, this is what the latest and greatest is going on for the military community. Also talking about things to maybe work on your niche as a financial planner, how to improve your craft, how to be better at what you do as a financial professional. And also the latest and greatest, I'm doing an event called Make Your Point. Very passionate about it. In the position I'm in now, I get to hear a lot of great points that I feel like a lot of other people should know about. For example, buy now, pay later. Huge problem, going to be impacting the military community. It's a new payday loan, and more people should know about it. Well, I want to have a peer voted session where people can put down their point they want to make, who they are. Attendees get to vote the first 2 days of the conference, and then the top 5 people get notified that they're going to make their point to the community. So at the closing all hands session, those 5 people get a microphone and just share their message. There's no slides, so they can say what the point is, so it can be on the radar of the entire community, whether that's a problem or a solution, or just a heads up. So I think that's going to help people really understand the pulse of the military money community, but also building community is give people the opportunity to share a really important message with everybody.
Y'all see this energy, y'all? You can't tell me you don't want to go down to North Carolina and hang out with Lacey. She's putting all this passion behind it. And just like you said, this isn't your first rodeo though, right? You've had the Military Money podcast. How many years have you been doing that podcast?
Over 3.5 years. The summer before.
3.5 years. I've been an opportunity to be a guest on the show. She's got tons of people in the veteran entrepreneurial community, military spouses. So you already got this portfolio of just amazing content. And then the other thing we have to talk about is you did a course in a Bunker Online around military finance. Can you talk to us about that?
Yes, I thought that was a really great opportunity because often that's intimidating for people starting a business is that maybe my personal finances aren't doing really great. I'm nervous about starting a business now because you're going to be running two sets of books now. Unless, even if you have somebody else doing it, you have to have a basic understanding of your business finances because if you don't understand it when it's going right, you sure as heck aren't going to understand it when it's going wrong. And Finances for Founders, that was a program that I thought laying out important information for you to be able to manage your business and your personal finances, understanding separating them very early on are things that I talk about in that course. And just resources. Sometimes you just don't know what's out there to help you with your money and, as a business owner. So I think that's really important. But just the basic information, not too deep of a dive on anything because you don't want it to be overwhelming. It's just little things that you can do to make a huge difference in your personal and business finances and start them off right because you don't want to be worrying about the money side of things while you're trying to worry about the million things as an entrepreneur that you have to worry about. So that is what the course is about is helping you have the basic foundation.
And so between the course, between the podcast, and now the conference, you've just got such a wealth of resources available to the community. And how do we get more? How do we help you get the word out? So people can take advantage of it.
Well, just sharing the conference is huge. It's milmoneycon.com. All the information is there. People can get passes. If you're interested in supporting it, you could also exhibit or sponsor. That would be wonderful. But just sharing it. It's the first conference, the first time I'm doing this. It's a very specific audience. You don't necessarily have to be military to come, but that is who most attendees are going to be. And I just want as many people to know about it so they can get connected to opportunities. Even if, you're never been to a conference before or you don't know anybody in the financial space or the military space, this is a way for you to come and be welcome and be part of the community. We're going to have a lot of events to help engage and introduce you to people and learn. So if you could share that would definitely be wonderful. And on social media, you could follow MilMoneyCon on all the social platforms.
And also check out your podcast. Got to
Oh,
make
yes.
sure we give a shout out to that.
Yes.
So
Please subscribe.
make sure y'all are checking out militarymoneycon.com. We put the link in the chat. And now we're going to transition to the second part of our show where we talk about book recommendations. And I'm going to tell on myself here in a sec. But in the meantime, if you have any questions while the military money expert is on with us, please go ahead and drop those in the chat while we're talking. And again, we got Dr. Marlon K. John. Shout out to Dr. Marlon. Appreciate you for tuning in to the live show today. And we also saw someone else who said they know you, Lacey. They said that they met you previously, Isaac Tavares. He said y'all met at FinCon in Austin.
Yep, FinCon was just, September? Yes. So good to see you. Thank you for coming.
Love it.
Yes.
All right, Lacey, what book recommendation do you have?
I'm ready. Take the Stairs by Rory Vaden. I love this book. I think it's really great personally, but also for business owners. Just motivating, understanding how important self-discipline is. It's Take the Stairs, the 7 steps to achieving true success. And actually, my dad recommended this book for me a long time ago, and I read it and I loved it. It's a quick read. But one thing I think as entrepreneurs and starting something new, I'm definitely going through this right now. We struggle with it's new and it's scary. And there's a really great story in here. I don't want to ruin it, but it was very motivating for me. And I go back to it all the time is that sometimes you just have to do stuff scared. Like, that's fine. That's cool that you're scared. Like this conference, definitely, I'm scared, very nervous how it's going to turn out. It's the first time doing something. I don't know if I'm going to embarrass myself. What if nobody shows up? What if nobody wants to support it? What if they all laugh at me? But on the other side, I know that if it works, it's going to help a lot of people. And so I'm just going to have to do it scared. Everything in business I'm doing scared. And I think it's a really great book in talking about the importance of creating your habits and your self-discipline and going with it and not taking an easy way out. Like you are making, actually, I dog-eared this. It starts by realizing that a sacrifice isn't really a sacrifice at all. It's a short-term down payment on a rich future blessing. And that's really what it is. All the sacrifices you're doing now to build something are the down payment for the future.
I think I posted a quote on my LinkedIn the other day by Peter Drucker. It's like every successful business person, did a courageous act one day, right? And so it's like putting yourself out there, operating at the edge of your comfort zone. I'll tell you, I get nightmares about hosting events. Hosting events is not my zone of genius. I would be stressing out every day up until, but again, you're still putting yourself out there, and I think it's going to be great for the conference. Now, before we went live, me and you were going back and forth just about how hard entrepreneurship is. And that's what I'm going to tell on myself, y'all. Usually I'm like the book guy. I read all these books, but like, I feel like my brain is like overloaded right now. And like, I don't even want to really even pick up a business book at this point. I'm just like, and entrepreneurship is hard. People see us on these platforms. They see us hosting the show, but I was like, it's the equivalent of almost like running a marathon that never ends. It's just like that never ending marathon. So dealing with like the ebbs and flows, and then those days where you're like super motivated, you're reading it and you're getting after it. And then other days you're just like, oh man, I just got to keep pushing.
Yeah, I always say that entrepreneurship is like having an imaginary friend, especially when you're starting out. Like this conference, my imaginary friend until you go and attend it. Like it's imaginary to other people. If you're writing a book, it's imaginary until you have a book in your hand or other people have that book in their hand. I'm creating a coaching business. It's imaginary until I have clients and I'm making money. And so that's really hard to communicate with other people. That's why it's such a blessing that we're in a group together where we get to talk with other entrepreneurs, other podcasters that understand what we're going through. So I totally get you. And I understand maybe now it's not the time to read another book. It's just to clear your mind.
That's right. Frank Monto says venturepreneurship is one of the hardest things I've ever done, man. And we're right there with you. And you brought up a great point, Lacey. That's why we have these groups so we can vent with each other. We always vent in the podcast CEO circle. So I'm telling y'all, man, don't go at it alone. If you're out there, find someone in the bunker, talk to, find a peer or something. I'm telling you, this is what we're here for. This is the power of having community. So I will have a book recommendation for y'all this next week. I had to take an off week on this one. So before we go, Lacey, last thing, any closing remarks would you like to leave our listeners with regarding military money, the conference, the course, whatever?
With money, I would say it's really important to face it. If you're struggling with it or something you're scared of, whether that be saving more or investing, just take a little bit of knowledge and start taking action, spend less than you make and save. And then with the conference, I would love for you to share it, even maybe if it's not for you, if you know somebody that could benefit from being part of the community, milmoneycon.com. I would really appreciate you sharing. And thank you so much, Mike, for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Man, you're always welcome, man. Part of the Bunker Labs family. You give so much to this community. The least we can do is get you on these platforms to share the work. For everyone that's tuning in, I got to go ahead and plug. If you have not checked out Lacey's podcast, The Military Money Expert, check it out. Again, it's super dope. She's been killing the game for like 3.5 years. Great show. And I also want y'all to check out our podcast here at Bunker Labs, The Transition. We have been putting out an episode every week. We've got some really dope entrepreneurs. Again, my go-to recommendation when I tell people who haven't listened to the podcast, listen to the 5 stages of small business growth with Michelle Warner. That is a great episode, and it really breaks down like all the business acumen you need to navigate this entrepreneurial journey, especially in the early phases. But I have an episode releasing this week with Manuel Goldboy, who was on Shark Tank and won the $500K investment from Kevin Hart. So we got a lot of amazing entrepreneurs. I mean, we're really elevating this platform thanks to MetLife Foundation, our sponsors, not only for the transition, but as well as office hours. So we're trying to push a lot of content out there to support y'all. Just be sure to check it out. And there's a newsletter for it too. So just sign up to the newsletter. You get a podcast every week, and it'll accelerate you on your entrepreneurial journey. If you haven't checked out bunkerlabs.org, make sure you head over to the website, sign up for a newsletter, and get plugged into the community. We have programs that will take you from idea to invoice, incubate you, and position you to grow alongside other founders and CEOs. All you got to do is go to bunkerlabs.org. And we also have this amazing online platform, Bunker Online. It's booming. People are in there connecting. So again, you have no excuse to feel like you're going at it alone. We're here. Engage with the content, engage with the community, follow Lacey, and reach out to us and let us know how we can help. You're the reason why we do these platforms, and we're honored to be able to support the veteran, entrepreneur, and military spouse community. So until next week, everyone, peace, love, and have a great rest of your week.